Jay Barnard, and welcome back to the Daily Dose of Recovery. And I'm super excited today with the guest that we have, and I hope I get this last name right because I just said it a minute ago. But Jayne Trimble, right?
You got it. You got
Jayne
it.
Trimble, right? Oh, I got it right this time. And you're in Calgary right now, but you're going to be living in Saskatoon. But you're worldly. You got your own record label. You're in recovery. You're an advocate towards recovery. You're a singer. I could sit here for probably 20 minutes and announce who you are, but welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time, and also thank you for lining us up with Don Von Beeker as well. That was an amazing interview with him,
Awesome.
and I see that his new song or his new album just got 10,000 streams, which is like really exciting for him. For me to see for him, and he's just a really cool soul. So welcome to the show. Thank you for everything you're doing. Let's hear a little bit about Jayne and who is she? What does she do? And then we'll kick her into the tips, tricks, and solutions. And then, your new superpower recovery. How can you help people?
Thank you very much. Well, firstly, thank you very much for having me on the show. And like you just mentioned, I booked one of my artists on this show. And as I was reading about it and learning about Empower Recovery, I was like, I think I should be on this show because I grew up in an alcoholic home. Just get straight to the point. And I'm in recovery. Have been in recovery for over 10 years. All the different rooms. So anyway, it's how I lead my life. 12 steps is everything. It saved my life. But I have been a professional musician for 15, 20 years, up here in Canada mostly. And I'll correct you. You introduced me and said I live in Saskatoon. I live in LA. I live in LA. But I just bought a house in Saskatchewan. So that's that's the Saskatchewan piece. Yes, professional musician, did all the things, international touring, was nominated for a Canadian Folk Music Award. Music in TV shows that you watch on Netflix today, did all the things. And then alongside that, started a record label for women, because for me as a woman in the music industry, I was always overwhelmed by the overwhelming lack of female energy in the music industry. And I thought, well, I just did a few courses in music production. I learned how to be in the studio. I learned the language. I empowered myself with the knowledge and the ability to create my own music and to create my own empire. And then women would flock to me because I not only have the music ability, but I'm leading with my spirituality, right? So, our creativity is intrinsically linked to our spirituality. And I herald and elevate things like, I embrace vulnerability in the studio and in the creative process. I embrace authenticity. If you want to cry mid-song, let's cry mid-song. I want to hear how your voice has a timbre, or how your breath is shaky because what you're saying means so much to you. So, and I know this because it's been me. I've been on a stage in front of 200 people and started crying because I'm singing about it. I'm singing about my dad, right?
I listened to some of your songs, and I hope we end off with one of your songs. Sure. So we can do that at the end. But at the end of the day, your music is very authentic. Thanks. And you're a very authentic human, and it's really exciting. When you said empowering women to be musicians, singers in that field, but you said something even more important than that. You empowered yourself.
Yes.
To go out and do it. Which, there's the God shot. I got all these God bumps all over me right now. Yes. And that's what's really exciting, is you empowered yourself first, which meant you were taking care of yourself.
Yes.
And now because of that, you're able to go help out a whole bunch of people do what you do, right? So that is massively inspiring. So you got into music 15 years ago. I guess that so 10 years. So I guess you were still in active unresolved trauma, I like to call it, right? Because unresolved trauma is the mental, and that's the issue. We're not addicts and alcoholics. It's unresolved trauma, leads to mental health issues, which then leads us to wanting to get out of ourselves. And then when we want to get out of ourselves, we just won't try and find anything that does not allow us to be ourselves. And it can be anything, right? So I would assume you started singing in your active unresolved trauma, and then somewhere through that period of time, you said, enough unresolved trauma. I want to be Jayne.
Oh my God, you're speaking my language because, yes. And so my healing journey was happening at exactly the same time as my music journey. As I was finding my truth in my throat chakra, I started to come into my voice, and I found my voice not only sonically, but the words that I was saying became these profound lyrics. I don't sleep well as a result of trauma. It's still
Right.
in my nervous system. So I would wake up at 3, 4 a.m. and the most profound God shots would be coming in, and I'd be like, holy, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this, but it's totally, you know,
Beep.
yeah. So I would, and this is where the trauma or the pain becomes this beautiful thing, because it's all weaving in. I'm letting higher power into this journey. It's a mess. There's nothing straight line about it. It's like I'm over here one day, I'm over there the other day. There's this disappointment, there's this resentment. I'm having trouble with my mum. I'm, crying about this thing, whatever. But at the same time, writing, doing music, and listening to music, learning how to be learning music production, getting out and touring, opening for bands, learning how to, blood, sweat, and tears, just elbow grease. And then, yeah. So finding my voice in my music happened at exactly the same time as I was finding my truth about the adult child stuff, right? I'm an adult child alcoholic. So it's brutal. I had to go through 10 years of a grief process. And I'm out the other side, and I literally am a phoenix rising, and I feel unstoppable, literally.
That's that. So you said something really interesting too about your nervous system, which I don't
Yeah.
know if you've ever listened to Michael Zinger. Michael Zinger
No.
is he's got a podcast, The Unresolved Trauma. It's an amazing, amazing podcast out there. Just listening to it. But he talks about the impressions in our minds, right? So what happens is the impressions come from preoccupied about spent time, which is past, right?
Yeah.
So if we have all the, because our eyes just paint this picture and then we see it how we see it, right? So the impressions that get embedded in us, what's really happens is, if we really want the fullness of life, we have to stay open. What
Yeah.
does open mean? Open means don't close your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart is where your energy source is. You
Mm-hmm.
close your heart, you're closing off your energy, which means you're going dark inside, not outside. You're going dark inside, so you're actually dying inside, not outside.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you keep the energy, this is what happened with you. You turned the energy, and then the energy that you produce, because here's the cool thing about this energy that we have. Guess what? The sun shines on people if they're good or they're bad. The sun shines on the same amount of people. We get the same amount of time in every single day. And we all have a tap to the free resource, which is our inner energy.
Unbelievable.
Which doesn't mean that we have to get it from food or from sleep. It's the inner energy inside our heart, which is the chakra that makes things move, right? So the energy is what creates, and if you stay open, if you just stay open and you never close, no matter what happens, right? Because if you just stay open, and I was telling you about the car at the West Edmonton Mall, I could have closed quick, I could have lost it, right? But when you stay open, this is what happens. You become this beautiful soul who you are right now, Jayne.
Thank you.
Doing amazing, beautiful things
Thank
in the
you.
world.
Yeah.
And it's just like one of these things with energy. It's just like
It's crazy, isn't it?
everybody's energy. Oh, it's just crazy. So tips, tricks, and solutions. So in tips, tricks, and solutions, what would you say to people just either getting into recovery? Maybe they've been in recovery for a while and they're stuck and stagnant, and they just need a shot at God, or maybe they just need a good old strum of Jayne's guitar. What would you,
Absolutely.
or maybe your voice, what would you say to them if they need something?
So I want to speak to newcomers, and I want to speak to people who have been around and maybe stagnant. Newcomers, keep coming back. Simple. Just show up. Put your bum on the seat. We say in Al-Anon, come to 6 meetings. Try different meetings. Just sit there. And I cried the whole time my first meeting. I couldn't believe it, what I was hearing. Just show up, right? That's for the newcomers. For people that have been around maybe stagnant, and maybe you're an adult child, I want to speak to the adult children. Anybody who's an adult that grew up in an alcoholic home. The thing that saved my life was inner child work. In adult children of alcoholics, And that's where I was able to finally, I did non-dominant handwriting, and my non-dominant true self told me truths that my adult brain wouldn't allow me to hear. I had to hear, I'm in effing pain. I'm angry at my mom and my dad. I'm so angry. You know, this all happened and I was never allowed to cry about it. You know, cry, cry, cry as much as you need to cry, because, the acronym for HOPE is hold on, pain ends. Feel the feelings, feel the feelings. You come out the other side, and the end of grief is this abundant energy life that never ends, like you've just said. So hold on, pain ends. Hold on, pain ends. It comes to an end, and you would not believe the life we talk about in recovery rooms. There's, yeah, just like you'll have a life beyond your wildest dreams, and it is at your fingertips. You don't know it yet, but it's there. It's there. Just keep coming back. Is what I say.
Awesome. If anybody wants to find you, we are going to drop one of your songs at the end of this, so Vicky will edit that in. But if anybody wants to find you, where can they find you? If they want to listen to your music, where can they listen to your music? Maybe there's some women on here that want to be musicians.
Yeah.
Be able to reach out to you and share their voice with you. Where can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so on all the social platforms. So Instagram is the one that I use the most, at World Peach Records. And then if you want to find my music, my name in music is Oxlip, Oxlip. And you'll see it, Oxlip Music on Instagram.
Awesome. Absolutely amazing. I am so grateful that you took the time. I'm grateful that you actually reached out.
Yeah.
Through Dawn. Because Dawn came on, and then it was like, and then I was like, holy, who's this girl? I need to get her on, and we need to start working together. We got you. You got to be a part of Empower to Recover. And speaking of which, Saskatoon, August 30th, we are at the TCU place. We're going to bang off our first event there. Then we roll into Kenora, Ontario for the second recovery day. And then we're into Thunder Bay, Ontario for World Mental Health Day on October 10th. For all information, go to www.empowertorecover.com. That's www.empowertorecover.com, and you'll be up to date with all of what we're doing with this national non-for-profit that's going coast to coast with live events, sharing amazing stories like Jayne's and all kinds of other people's stories that are happening. Thank you for taking the time, Jayne, and we will see you next time.
See you next time. Thank you. Bye, Jay.
Stood still, you were holding the world in your hands. You said, come on up, what are you waiting for? You are willing, and I am able to take your load, your heavy load. I am stronger than the beasts of this land. I have a softer touch than any human hand. And I will meet you at the gate, and I don't mind if I have to wait, 'cause oh, it takes a little time. You are lilies in a field of weeds. When the summer's up, you will come on up to a table where you'll eat with the best. Take the meat, you can leave the rest to the ravens and the hungry crows, who are as black as coal. You are a shining light. And I will meet you at the gate, and I don't mind if I have to wait, 'cause oh, it takes a taste the fruit and the vine. I will meet you on the brow of this hill. Just one touch, a little touch of the woman who whispered a prayer, gave me your life as a little child. And I will meet you at the gate, and I don't mind if I have to wait, 'cause oh, it takes a little time to taste the fruit and the vine. Show me the way, show me the way to your heart. Show me